Hello, welcome everyone. I am excited today to talk to you about 5 ways that you can use action as traction and really motivate yourself to not only build a healthy habit, but sustain the healthy habit. So many of us get started in this first few weeks of January, but we struggle to make it a lifetime or a long term habit and really stick. Well, how can we do that? So, I'm going to go over some things that I've seen one myself work with myself and also work with patients. So I want to highlight a quick example that I used last year to run a half marathon. And I've run many half marathons in the past, but over the course of, COVID or different times, I may fluctuate in how much running I do. So 2 years ago, I moved to California and I had kind of gotten out of my running habit. I was selling a business and moving to a new state. Then I got COVID and just all these transitions. And the last thing on my mind was keep up your running habit. So, what did I do last year to help me fuel not only my body in a way that could feel really confident when I was running, but not be so overwhelming that I was like, I'm done, I can't do it, I got too sore, whatever. So, what I did was I started with a very small incremental movement. So, I literally would start with running just not even half a mile. And that may seem like a lot for some, but for me, that was like, I've run a full marathon before. So, running half a mile seemed almost like, are you kidding me? But that's what I had to do. And so I did that for a week. And the next week, I added on another half mile. And so what I did was I built up my mileage over the course of many months, but I made it such a small incremental improvement that it was almost not noticeable other than maybe the time. Now, as the time got a little bit more involved, and I was getting closer to the training, that became more of an issue because I didn't always have the time or willingness to put in, 2 hours of running like I really wanted to. But as far as I can spend, 5 minutes running half a mile or 10 minutes running a full mile, whatever. That was small enough of time frame. And again, building up slowly, it decreased my risk for injury and it built my confidence that I felt like I could do this. I could also increase speed because I was building this foundation of running. So that's just one small example of what you can do. Sometimes my patients will take that same approach with transitioning to, for example, a plant-based diet. They'll utilize breakfast as that first stop in the morning to eat something healthy, plant-based. And then over the course of a few weeks, they'll start adding in other meals as they become more adjusted and accustomed to eating a plant-based diet. So I'm going to break it down for you. I just wanted to share a little bit of that story that you too can take this approach. It's very accessible to anyone based on whatever goal that you'd like to attain. So first of all, number one, as you probably already know, is you want to break it down. Small steps lead to big changes, right? So when you start with small, manageable actions, it makes it just so much more attainable. So if your goal is to exercise more, you want to begin maybe just with a 10-minute walk rather than an hour at the gym. Small successes will build confidence and create that foundation for a much more significant habit. Number two, you really want to schedule your habits, make them non-negotiable, right? You have to commit. So you treat your new habits like very important appointments. For example, you wouldn't show up at work. You're going to need to show up for yourself. Remember, this is really important. Whatever that goal is that you're making that appointment with yourself. It's really easy to, let our own selves down, but we need to understand that we need to show ourselves love above all, because when we do that, we can show up for others in a much more amazing way, the way that we want to show up for others and the way we would want others to show up for us. We need to show up for others, that ourselves first, so that we can do that. So remember, when you do that, you want to schedule them into your day and prioritize them as you would any, for example, crucial meeting. Consistency is key, and having that set time for your habits really can help maintain that. Number three, you want to pair your habits with established routines. The power of what we call habit stacking. So when you link new habits to existing ones, this can be a very wonderful way to just make it flow in your day. For instance, if you want to practice mindfulness, You might want to try doing a 2-minute breathing exercise after brushing your teeth each morning. This technique, known as that habit stacking, it really leverages your existing routines to anchor in these new habits or these new activities that you want to create a habit out of. And for example, for me, with the running, it occurred after I walked my dog. So I'm already outside walking the dog one distance, and then I already had my shoes on. I was already active. I would put the dog away because I can't run with this one. She's dangerous. I would go do my run because I'd already established that habit of walking the dog. And I'm not going to walk the dog because, well, she's going to let me know she needs to go out. So these are things that you can do. Again, it doesn't matter what it is, just figure out where in your daily routine it makes sense to stack or attach or anchor this new activity that you're wanting to do. And then think number 4 is visible reminders, right? So out of sight is out of mind, but you want to keep your goals and habits in plain sight. Maybe use sticky notes, journals, digital reminders to keep your habits really right front and center. Those visual cues act as a constant reminder of your commitment and your progress. Maybe it's a big calendar with checkoffs, that you see it and you're like, if you're like me, I love checkoff lists. There's something about just finishing it. But one thing that worked for me with my running in the past, you guys don't laugh at me, is you remember those little gold 10 stars you get when you were little, like those little, you get your spelling test back and you get a little gold star or purple star or whatever. I love stickers. And I used to have a sticker collection when I was a kid. But what I did was I had my calendar and I found some really awesome stickers. Yes, I ventured into the children's toy section of my local store and found stickers, or went on Amazon and thought, oh, those are really cute. I would get such a little dopamine hit by sticking that sticker on because it was associated with the excitement that I'd get when I was younger about getting that star when I did well on a homework assignment or something like that. So again, it doesn't matter what it is for you. That was my thing. Maybe it'll work for you. Maybe there's something else you do. I love it. I'd love to hear from you guys below what it is that you would use to really keep yourself motivated in that way. But this kind of leads into number 5, which is really you want to celebrate the small wins, and positive reinforcement works. It really does. So you want to acknowledge and celebrate every small victory. Every day you're taking a step, every day that you're reaching towards your goal, every vegetable that you're eating, every minute that you're motivating, doing some type of mindfulness or meditation, anything, you really want to celebrate it. And don't think of this as, oh, that's just silly, I'm not going to do it. There is a biochemical thing that's occurring here. You're changing the feeling of when you do an activity. So when you celebrate it, your body wants more of it. Your mind starts to crave it. So it makes it easier to sustain and maintain that habit. So I really want to encourage you to not dismiss the celebration component. It's a very strong and important piece. So remember, those celebrations are going to reinforce the positive behavior and boost your motivation to keep going. And finally, the journey towards building healthy habits and sustaining them, this is a marathon, guys. This is not a sprint. And I know you've heard this before, but you want to be patient with yourself, be kind, and love yourself. But every step is a step in the right direction. So at the end of the day, you have to love yourself, and it's okay to invest time in yourself, because remember, this allows you to be present and available for others in a much greater way than you ever could when you don't take time to love yourself, truly love yourself, not in an egotistical way, not in a narcissistic way, but a way that you would love your own child, your aging parent, someone with compassion and gratitude and love. And I know some days are harder than others, but you're worth it. And don't forget that. So as I like to say, go live your purpose and love without limits today. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week and day. And I'll be back later with some more who knows thoughts. You guys have a great day. Thanks for coming.